JV here, and I'm going to break down things chronologically for everyone in my own way regarding the electrical issues here at 6930 Simpson Avenue in North Hollywood, California. Imagine that you move into an apartment in early 2023 and immediately notice the lights are always flickering. The microwave sometimes surges audibly. You are not the only tenant to notice this, as it occurs in multiple apartments. Your future wife comments on this during her early dating visits to your place. In September 2024, it results in power going down in your kitchen. Your shitbag landlord takes weeks to address it, and you're without a fridge while half your living room and all of your kitchen has no electricity. Electrician comes and fixes it partially, but the flickering lights and surging microwave events continue to occur. You've already had several other documented repair requests by this time for things not related to electricity, and your experience to date has been one where requests for repairs are ignored for extended periods of time by the landlord. You've caught on to the pattern. Landlord has a very unpleasant demeanor, and the thing that pisses him off the most is actually having to fix things. For example, you notify the landlord on March 9th, 2025, that water is leaking from the unit above yours and soaking your bathroom door and surrounding frame. It continues to leak until April 13th, and then finally, after all this time, landlord sends out a plumber to fix it. Turns out, it was water from the toilet tank in the unit above, and landlord tells you this in writing. Landlord refuses to replace that bathroom door, and it still hangs to this day. You got a good idea of how this slumlord operates by now, and all throughout your time living in this apartment, power keeps fluctuating. Now you are married, and your new wife is on a lease that expires in July 2025. You get written permission from the slumlord for her to move in and make copies of keys in writing. Keep this in mind, because only a few short months later, shit will go down. Electrical issues get worse in November of 2025, and on December 2nd, your computer's graphic card gets fried. $500 later, you get that fixed. Then on December 28th, your oven's igniter gets fried as the power surges and brownouts continue on a daily basis. Shitbag landlord still has not fixed something you requested in writing September of 2024 to repair. These brownouts and surges have grown in strength, to the point where it's nearly impossible to watch anything on streaming, as each surge and brownout knocks out your Wi-Fi for the 5 minutes it takes to reset. Then, on December 29th, a massive surge hits the entire building of 8 apartments. The tenant in a unit above you calls the fire department, and you have your big screen TV, sound system, a laptop, iPhone, 2 Dell computers, and 2 monitors get smoked by the surge. Not a good day. The utility company comes out and finds a copper jumper illegally placed in the meter for the landlord's meter out in the back of the building, and confronts the landlord on video. The utility worker then assembles the tenants and explains how the jumper was causing arcs to surge all through the building. Everybody is affected. You see, there are 8 apartments and 9 meters. The 9th meter covers the building's exterior lights, common laundry room, and the water heater room. That 9th meter is the one with the jumper found in it. Utility company tells the landlord that the building has severe electrical issues, even recommending evacuation of all tenants and to not touch the meter they found the jumper in or do anything to it until these issues are fixed. Utility worker in question even tags the meter with his call sign and name. The Los Angeles Housing Department shows up and does a walkthrough of your apartment and others, then issues a code violation for electrical issues for the entire building to the landlord. You sign on to the complaint. You cooperate with the city's housing department. Very next day, on December 30th, 2025, dopey-ass landlord walks to the back of the building at 5:55 p.m., plugs the water heater back in. Loud boom occurs. Landlord texts tenants, "Hot water is back," at 6:03 p.m., and you immediately text back, "Dude, my computer blew up." And another neighboring tenant calls the fire department again. Again, everyone is affected. This time, your bedroom where your sweet-ass Alienwares are gets all shot to shit. Printer, external hard drives, 2 Alienwares with nothing stock left in them. Your total damage from the 2 nights far exceeds the max for small claims court. Other tenants start throwing out things like stereo receivers and big screen TVs. They have also been affected. But you? You're the techie one. You've got a lot of electronics. Correction, you had a lot of electronics. You also have the largest claims for damages of all the tenants. Power surges and brownouts continue, for everyone. They are not as strong as before the jumper was removed, but continue nonetheless. On January 2nd, 2026, your fridge starts acting up and food starts spoiling. You report that too. Then, on January 4th, as your wife is getting ready to move in so that you don't have to shell out rent for 2 apartments, landlord rescinds his written permission for your wife to move in via email, like the douchebag that he is. On January 5th, despite it being a building-wide issue, landlord does an inspection and spends the time just filming everything in your apartment. He films you, audio and video, without your consent. If it sounds like he's fishing because he's facing a lawsuit, well, maybe that's exactly what he is doing. Loser leaves. Gas company comes in and tags your stove. Slumlord then issues another notice to enter and specifies some vague stuff for your apartment only. Not anyone else, just you. He's coming back January 10th, on a weekend, in contradiction of California Civil Code. You immediately send a written objection. This is a building-wide issue, dude. What is the reason for entering only my apartment? What is this vague reasoning? What kind of work do you plan on doing? On Wednesday, January 7th, hot water becomes an issue, and the clowns who run the building get extra busy in the back of the building. Hot water returns, and mysteriously, after all of that work out back, the power issues seem to subside. But Slumlord sends no word to the tenants. He apparently still desperately wants to go into your apartment, and your apartment only. On Friday, January 9th, the housing authority fails your apartment in an inspection and cites the oven and fridge. The utility company sends you a written report the same day, stating that the issue is that electrical box in the back and the landlord's responsibility to fix. Not your apartment, the master electrical board out back. You notify the landlord in writing that you have not received a response to your query after waiting all week, and inform him he does not have consent to enter the following day, a Saturday. January 10th comes, and right at the buzzer, the slumlord emails at 12:33 a.m. that he's coming anyway. You put the email up in your front window, and when he shows up, point to it and show the LAPD. They take Slumlord's embarrassed ass off the premises and tell him to get a court order. Time after time, Slumlord acts the clown and gets clowned. This brings you completely up to speed as of this recording on what is going on with the electrical issues and the landlord's nerd raging over the issue. Is it fixed? It just might be. We'll see.